Today's video is a bit different than the usual one, as our friend from Aussie Money Man, Nicholas, will be taking over this video. And he will be giving you some tips on how to make some extra cash while studying here as an international student in Australia. And if you want more information regarding how to save money, how to invest money, or anything related to money, then we suggest you to check his channel out. The link is in the description below. And now, enjoy the video.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas from the Aussie Money Man YouTube channel. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing 6 different ways that you can make some extra cash in Australia as an international student. Alright, so number 1 is market research. So this is actually participating in market research, whether that be for, a product like Snickers or a service like, Jetstar, so transport or anything like that. So it's actually often the case that these market research opportunities come up around universities. So often universities will be doing these market research. It happens quite often. So being around and about universities, you may actually see these opportunities a lot, often on flyers. They can pay anywhere from 50 to 120 Australian dollars for an hour of your time. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, but they tend to be within that range. There are also a lot of great sites, such as sites called Askable and Tell Me, etc. I'll try to put some of those in the description below. I talk about that quite a bit over at my channel, but that can be one really good way to make some extra cash. However, it should be noted, it's not consistent and you can't do it over and over and over again. You can sort of just do them every now and then where they come up. And of course, you have to meet the criteria, because often these market research companies will be looking for specific sorts of people for specific types of research. Now with that said, of course, I should mention what you actually do for the research varies greatly depending on what the research is. It may be a taste test, it may be trying out a new software and seeing how, what the user experience is, how easy you're able to navigate around that software. It could be taking a test and seeing how you perform compared to, the other people compared. But this is something I do quite a bit, and it can be a really good way to make some extra money while in Australia. Alright, so number 2 is tutoring. This could be in your native language or another language you know. It could be in your topic of study if you already know a bit about that, or you've already been studying it for a while and you want to help other kids who are taking that course or might be interested in taking that course. Or you might just have another interest or passion or some other skill that, it's come from your interest or passion that you can share with people. So that could be anything. Alright, so that could be anything from video editing to magic tricks with cards or anything in between. But that can be a really good way to make some money. So you can charge anywhere from like $20 an hour up to much more, $60 an hour. Some people will charge even more again, depending obviously on how good you are at that, how much demand there is for that service, that particular topic that you're tutoring in, etc. But this can be a really good way to make some extra money. So a good example is I used to tutor chemistry, so I used to help teach kids in high school how to do year 11 and 12 chemistry to help them out with their assignments, tests, homework, exams, all those sorts of things. Currently tutor people in different areas of IT and help them out with stuff like that when I get the opportunity to make a bit of money from that. And I generally charge $60 an hour plus for my time. Alright, so number 3 is called match betting. So this one can be a bit confusing. So it's match betting, sometimes it's called arbitrage betting, but it's basically when you take advantage of bookmakers, so gambling sites, to make guaranteed profits. It can be a little bit confusing at first, but you can make thousands of dollars from this initially. I made about $4,000 initially, and then a few $100s a week consistently from your computer. The great thing about this income as well is it actually isn't taxable, so you don't have to count that as hours worked here in Australia because it's considered gambling income, which is not taxable here in Australia. If you want to know more about that, I have a whole playlist on my channel explaining it, but I won't go into it in this video because it can be a little bit complicated to start, but definitely is a really good way to make money in Australia. The only condition is that you can prove you have Australian residence, so an Australian permanent residence somewhere. So if you have an address that you can prove that you are currently residing at, that you're living at, you can absolutely go ahead and do match betting to make a few hundred, if not $1,000. Alright, so number 4 is promotional work. So this is something I've done quite a bit myself, and it can be anything from mascot work, so dressing up in a costume and running out on the field during football games and things like that, to going to product launches. So, a phone company like Optus or Telstra might be opening a new store and you'll stand there and be like an ambassador. You generally get paid between 20 to 30 Australian dollars an hour, and you might hand out flyers and talk to people and things like that. And there's a lot of other things besides mascot work and ambassador work. If you have your right to serve alcohol, which is a license here in Australia, obviously allowing you to serve alcohol, there's a lot of work out there involving having that license and things like that. And also if you can drive, the opportunities open up even even more. So this is something that can be really good, and there's a bunch of sites that do this, so I'll link that down below, and they'll basically contract you out to do all sorts of different work in all sorts of different places as well. So that can be a really good way to make some extra cash in Australia. Alright, so number 5 is using apps that we have here, such as Airtasker, and there's a lot of other similar ones as well. So basically people will request to have little jobs done, whether it be video editing or helping them move a couch or anything in between, doing some gardening is ones I've seen before. I'm doing some data entry online are ones I've seen, and they'll pay you for your time for doing that. And often a lot of these can be online, some can be in person, but you can basically go on these sorts of apps and pick what sort of thing you want to do. So, if it's online, offline, video editing, gardening, labor, or anything in between. Similar to Airtasker, there is also the site Fiverr, which is pretty much all online or completely online from my understanding, where you can jump online and do things like website building, to coding, to graphic design, and all things like that, and create projects for people that, of course, they'll pay you for your time for going ahead and doing that for them. So if you have any skills in those areas, this is definitely something that you can go ahead and do. Alright, so the last one, number 6, is a side hustle, which is generally online but doesn't have to be. You could create bracelets or something like that in person. You could flip things, so you could go out and go to a garage sale, even find things for free, fix them up and sell them for more, even just sell them for more. You can do that online as well on things like eBay and stuff. But generally, when I say this, I'm sort of talking about a lot of the stuff that I do. So you can actually go ahead and start your own YouTube channel. You can go ahead and start an e-commerce store, so you're selling things online and making a profit that way. You can go ahead and go on Instagram, or the more newer and probably easier to get popular sites like TikTok, which has become incredibly popular over the past few years, and build up an audience there and make quite a bit of money from that. You could start a blog. So these are a lot of these things are things that I've done and things that I do. Obviously, I have my own YouTube channel, and obviously that makes money. So an online side hustle or offline can be something good to do, particularly online, because of course it's digital, and that way wherever you go in the world, you can continue to run that and continue to make some extra money from that side hustle. Alright, so I hope I've explained these 6 ideas to make extra money in Australia as an international student quite well. Hopefully they all made sense. If you would like to see any more videos like this, of course you can check out my channel. If you would like some more information on these ideas, or to get some other ideas, in addition to these 6 ideas I've given, please do let me know. There are certainly plenty more. There's lots of opportunity here, so feel free to comment your thoughts down below on that. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks for having me on the channel.